Good day, everyone. This is Miss Jai, and we are going to talk about persuasive writing. Okay? So we are now on lesson 2. Now, previously we discussed about informative writing, and the same with informative writing. A persuasive writing could be a persuasive speech or a persuasive essay. Although there's a difference between the two, still both follows the same structure. So in this lesson, we will discuss persuasive writing in general. In this lesson, let us answer the following questions. First, let's get to know what is persuasive writing. Next to that, how was persuasive writing is organized. And then lastly, what are the things to remember in persuasive writing? Let's begin. Now, what is persuasive writing? Persuasive writing is a writing that tries to convince a reader to do something or to believe what you believe about a certain topic. And there are so many ways that persuasive writing can be used to. We have to support a cause, to urge people to action, make a change, prove that something is wrong, stir up sympathy, create interest, and get people to agree with you. So that's a little bit of background about persuasive writing. Now, how was persuasive writing is organized? Now that we know the nature of persuasive writing, let's proceed to the next. What are the steps that you can use to organize a persuasive writing? Now, persuasive writing follows a certain format. We have the title, introduction. Your introduction should have a hook and a thesis statement, a body, where the argument is explained, and a conclusion, where main points are summarized and reviewed, and the reader is left with something to think about. First, let's get to know what makes a good introduction. A good introduction should grab or hook the reader's attention by using one or more of the following strategies. We have an anecdote or scenario, wherein the writer provides a personal experience or made-up situation to introduce a position. A question. The writer asks thought-provoking questions to capture the reader's interest. An interesting fact or statistics, wherein the writer gives an interesting piece of information to grab the reader's attention. And then lastly, we have quotation. Next to hook is your thesis statement. How will you create a thesis statement? A thesis statement is one sentence at the end of your introduction that states your opinion. It needs to be strong. But how will you construct a strong thesis statement? To do so, there are steps on how are you going to write your thesis statement. Step 1, first choose 3 main focus points to discuss in your essay. Say, for example, this one. So we will use fast food as an example. You will think of what are the 3 discussion points that I can write about fast food. It could be rapidly increases weight, causes high blood pressure, leads to sluggishness. Okay. And in step 2, now that you have your 3 main focus points and you already summarize them, you have to summarize them on step 2. So, say for example, this one. The 3 main focus points that you have are this. And to summarize them, you have to narrow them down. You could say that I believe fast food has negative health effects. So that's for step 2. Again, first, write 3 focus points, and then summarize the 3 focus points. And the last thing that you will do is put your completed thesis statement at the end of your first paragraph. And this is how it looks like. Your introductory paragraph. You have the catchy title, your hook, the first sentence, and then your 3 focus points, and summarize the 3, and you will put that on the last sentence of your introductory paragraph. Okay, so that's how you will write your introductory paragraph. Now that we know how to write an introductory paragraph, let's proceed to the body. How will you do that? Use each of the main arguments you use in your introductory paragraphs and expand each one by giving facts and reason. In our example, you would write 1 paragraph for each main points, discussion points, okay? It could be that you would write 1 paragraph on how fast food increases weight, 1 paragraph on how it causes high blood pressure, and 1 paragraph on how it leads to sluggishness. That's for the body. And aside from that, expanding on each argument by giving facts and reason, prove that the counter argument is wrong. You also have to show that the other side is wrong. When we say the other side, how many of you have been in a discussion with someone and you remember saying, yeah, that's true, but this is called a counter argument. It is the other side of the argument, and you'll need to tell your reader what the counter argument is and prove that it shouldn't matter. Let's take a look using our example of fast food. So this is where you should explain why your opposition believes what they believe. Say, a fast food company wouldn't agree with the points in this essay. They would have lots of reasons why fast food is good. They may say, now it's convenient or it's fine if eaten in moderation. So you are trying to counterattack the other side to prove that you believe what you believe is true. Okay? And then we have the conclusion. Now this is the last paragraph that wraps up the writing and gives the readers something to think about. To do so, you can use the following strategies. We have the call to reader action, anecdote or scenario, make a prediction. When we say call to action, you provide a solution, and then, you will ask the reader to do something or to make something happen. For example, I challenge you to watch what you eat and to avoid fast food. Call to action. And then provide a solution. When we say provide a solution, you need to provide an answer to the problem. And as for prediction, making a prediction, you explain what might be the consequences of action or inaction. Okay, so this is how your concluding paragraph should look like. You will restate your thesis statement and then summarize all the main points. Or you may end with a comment, a question, a call to action. And to end this lesson, let us answer the last question. What are the things to remember in persuasive writing? Or what are the things that you should keep in mind when you are going to write a persuasive speech or essay? Or what are the do's and don'ts of persuasive writing? The do, we have divide your persuasive writing into 6 paragraphs, have a thesis statement in your introduction, come up with 3 main points to support your argument. This will be your 3 body paragraphs, and then show the counter argument. Have a conclusion that has a clincher statement, and come up with a catchy title. And for the don'ts, don't begin with hello, my name is, and I'm going to write about. No, don't do that. And then don't use the word I. Instead of I, maybe you should use a general term. Say, for example, if you will use, I think we shouldn't wear uniforms. That's incorrect. Instead, you will say, uniforms shouldn't be required. Okay? Now, don't be wishy-washy. Pick a side. You have to stick a certain position. You have to stick with what you believe in. Do not be influenced by the other side. And then don't forget to support your opinions with facts and examples. Okay? So there you go. Those are the things you have to keep in mind for this lesson. That's all for our lesson, and I hope you learned something from me today. This is your teacher, Teacher Jai. Thank you and see you again.